What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hidden Heights Farm. My name is Kevin, and it is opening season of muzzleloader for deer here in Oklahoma 2019. And I should be in the woods trying to harvest a big buck to put in the freezer, but there's just too much work to be done. You guys can see all this wood behind me from the tree that fell in the storm right next to the house here. I'm going to try to get the wood splitter out today and get some good gas in it and make sure everything's going good, because I've got to get started splitting this wood. We won't be able to use it in our fireplace or our wood stove this year, but what we'll do is we'll get it all split, get it stacked, and let it season for a year or two before we actually use it in our wood stove. So I'm going to hook up the Ranger to the wood splitter, make sure everything's good, all the oil level, and it's got fresh gas in it and all that good stuff, and pull it over here and try to get busy splitting some wood today. It's good temperatures. It's a little bit chilly, but not too bad. It's perfect weather for cutting or splitting wood, so we'll try to knock that out. We usually burn 3 to 4 rick of wood here where we live in our house that we have, and every year we try to keep about 3 or 4 season ricks ready to go, and then like 3 or 4 ready to go for next year. That's always seasoning a year or two. You don't want to burn greenwood. Let me rephrase that. A lot of people burn greenwood, and what greenwood is if you go out and cut a tree down, split it, or just whatever, and you throw it right in your stove without letting it set out for a year or two. It has a lot of that sap and all that type of stuff in there, a lot of moisture, and what it does is it builds up creosote in your stovepipe, and that actually can ignite and cause chimney fires and stuff like that. What it is like a tar that builds up over time, and it can plug up your stovepipe and just cause a lot of other problems. So we have a new house, and we did have a wood stove because we've been through some winters here in Oklahoma where back in 07 and 08 we had ice storms, and we were actually out of electric for 13 days and 14 days 2 years in a row, and it was unfortunate. But we're prepared now. So that's why we try to keep seasoned wood on hand at all times, because you never know how bad the winters are going to get. So I'm going to get this wood splitter out and see what we got to do to it to get it going. Alright guys, so I got the Ranger hooked up to the wood splitter. We got it pulled out, and we're going to just go through it real quick to make sure it's got good oil. The oil's where it needs to be as far as filled up. And as you can see, this thing's got cobwebs all over it. I don't even think we used it last year, actually, because we had so much wood split up. But this thing has a little Honda engine on it, and they usually run really well. So there's really not a lot to do on them. They usually just service them and keep them stored and keep good gas in them, and these things fire right up when you need them usually. Alright guys, so right now what I'm doing is I'm just checking the oil. Oh yeah, still looks clean, and it is topped off where it needs to be. And then the next thing we need to do is fill this thing up with some good gas. So if you guys got lawnmowers, small engines, anything with a small engine on it, you don't want to put any gas in it that has ethanol. We try to just use the premium gas or the higher octane pure gas here, and it just helps store everything. It don't eat up your fuel lines, and it don't gum up your carburetors as bad as the ethanol stuff. So when we store this stuff, we put premium gas in it, and we usually put a little stay bill in it, and that's how we store it. And usually when these things are ready to go to work, you just got to fire them up and they're ready to go. So I'm going to go top it off with some, I'm going to go get some premium gas that we got in the shop and top the fuel tank off, and then we'll pull it over to where the wood is. Like I said, guys, this premium gas is more expensive, but I promise you in the long run it pays for itself, because you don't have to replace fuel lines and rebuild carburetors and stuff like that. Alright, let's see if this bad boy will fire up. Alright guys, so we're over here at the wood pile. And these aren't your normal size logs that you would usually split up for firewood if you were just going out into the woods or forest and trying to select a tree to use for firewood. This was unfortunate. This was one of our big, mature, really old oak trees that we had here in our backyard. And these are super, super big. I don't know how big around these things are, but they're gonna be super heavy. So what I'm gonna do is, this thing has an option to flip it vertical. There's no way I can pick these big pieces of wood up and load them on here by myself, or even probably with two people. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this up vertical and try to roll these things into position and do it like that. Work smarter, not harder. You're shedding, boy. Alright guys, like I said, these are not ideal size to be trying to split for your everyday firewood. If you have the choice, do not choose to cut down a tree this big. As you can see, it's a lot of work. I'm gonna get busy on it, and then once I get this stuff into some better manageable size pieces, we'll record some more video. so I lied a little bit ago. I said it was chilly and I had a hoodie on. I had to strip that off because when you're out here and you actually start working, you get hot. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna go back to the old method, and I'm gonna try to get some of these bigger logs split a little bit with the wood splitter, but then I'm gonna use the old traditional method of just splitting them all, just to try to knock them into more manageable pieces. And a little tip for this is an old hickory handle, and the axe or the splitting maul head's just a little loose in there. So a little tip for that is, if you know you're gonna be using this the day before or something, go stick this head in a bucket of water, and that will swell the wood up, and it kind of expands and holds that head on there better. And of course I didn't do that because I didn't know I was gonna be splitting this wood today. So hopefully it holds on all right. Alright guys, so I was talking about working smarter, not harder. So I got the idea. I backed the dump truck up here. I went ahead and loaded what I already split in there. And instead of just throwing it on the ground as I split it, I'm just going to try to throw it in the back of this truck so I don't have to touch it twice. And then once we get it all loaded up in the truck, we'll take it over to where we store our firewood and get it stacked up on some pallets. Alright guys, this old 1 ton is loaded down pretty good, as you can see. I'm guessing we got maybe about 3 rick or so on here now. But we are going to take it over to where we store our firewood and dump it so we can get it stacked. You can see there we got a pretty good load on here. So hopefully this old dump truck can lift this up. I don't think it'll have a problem, but we're fixing to find out. Skeeter, you ready to go for a ride? Huh? Come on. Let's go. Get in there. Come on. Let's go.
What are you doing in there?
Ready? Go.
Did you go for a ride?
Alright guys, so we're on load 2. Got all the big stuff pretty much done. Now we're over here on the smaller pile. There's a lot of stuff in here that's small enough that we don't have to split, but there's still some in there that needs to be split. So we're going to try to filter out all the little bitty stuff, go ahead and throw it in the truck. And I'm going to get started splitting some of this bigger stuff. Level with it?
Just up a tad.
Alright guys, so that one oak tree, you can see, provided us with 2 dump truck loads of firewood. And this is where we store firewood. If you look over here, this is seasoned. This is 2 and maybe 3 years old. This is a lot of hickory that we had some trees in our front yard, and we took them out whenever we built the house, and we've been letting it season. We got a tarp over it just to keep it dry, so we always got dry wood. And here pretty soon, maybe next weekend, we'll get some of this put in the garage. That way we'll have about a half a rick of wood in the garage at all times that's dry. And we store our firewood on these pallets. And that just keeps it off the ground, keeps it from rotting so fast, and keeps it dry as well. So
You got my foot stuck.
yeah, your foot's stuck now. But anyways, you can see all this wood. I'm guessing there's 5 to 6 rick. I don't know until we actually stack it up. But it'll be enough to last us at least all of next year, and maybe into the year after that. Just depends how bad winter gets. And like I said, this is all green, so we're not going to burn it this year. We'll burn the seasoned wood. We also have some more of the seasoned wood that we cut 1 year and 2 years ago over in the goat field. And we just need to haul it over here and stack it. But anyways guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And you got anything to say?
I'm tired.
You're tired? Thanks for helping me. Alright guys, smash that thumbs up and we'll see you next time.